Hello folks, welcome back to Simply Off Grid. In this episode we're going to take a look at collecting rainwater to feed our garden with. So as some of you may know, we already have a huge 2,000 gallon rainwater collection tank. This is not yet connected to a rain catchment. There is a smaller 800 gallon tank which is connected to a roof off of the woodshed here, but we're going to set up something else as well just to have extra water. So we've managed to get a free barrel, this white one in the back here. Our neighbour was getting rid of one, so we grabbed that. And then I've got some guttering I'm going to put up on this section of the building here behind, and we're going to feed some water into this rain barrel today. Okay, so the first stage of this is to get a tap onto the barrel. There's many ways you can do this, lots of different examples all over YouTube, but the way it's going to work out for us here today is using, I went to BC Aquifer and they had some little cool, I can't remember what they call this, but we basically have this sort of plug that goes inside the barrel. There's a thread here and a little rubber gasket here, so this needs to go inside the barrel. I'll need to cut a hole in the barrel that's the exact size of this. I'm going to have to lower this down somehow into the barrel through the small hole on the top, and maybe with some string or some metal wire or something like that. Lower that down, poke my finger through the hole, grab it, and then thread this. It's an opposite thread system. So instead of it, clockwise to go on, it's going to go anti-clockwise. Okay, and that's going to pull down nice and tight and create a water seal on the inside of that barrel. Then the little spigot tap, it's got an attachment for a hose on one side, and then these threads on the back side. This has threads on the inside here, so this then threads in. I'm going to put some Teflon tape on there, and then this will thread into there, creating a really nice seal, and then we'll have a tap on this barrel. So that's stage one of this video. Okay, so I need to make sure that the hole is pretty much in line with this hole here, because I'm going to have to lower down that part of the tap at this point so that I can grab it from the inside. So I'm going to make sure we'll be as close to that as we possibly can. So I'm actually spinning this round, because if you take a look at the top of this barrel, this opening is slightly closer to the rim than this one, so it's going to be easier for me to grab the thing as I go down this way. Okay, so fairly straight there. So I'm going to go in right about here. There we go. Removed. Okay, so let's make sure that this is going to fit. Perfect. Okay, so now for the tricky operation. I'm going to lower this into the barrel. Randomly found, it's like a set of lights, but these little LED lights, they've got like this awesome metal. If I can untangle this, I'm going to use it to lower it down. So let me do that for a second. Okay, so I've untangled that. Let's get this threaded around. hopefully I'm able to untie that after I've lowered it in and grabbed it. See what we can do here. This will be fun. Alright, so I've gotten a hold of the thing, and now I need to try and undo this and hopefully not drop this thing. Oh look, there's just enough room to kind of pull this through. It'd be better if I had string, because then I could just cut it, but unfortunately I have to retrieve these lights. Okay, managed to pull that out. Now I'm going to put my finger through this hole so I can grab hold of this and not drop it at the same time. And then remember, it's not the normal way. There we go. Okay, so I can hold this with my finger. So that should form a nice seal on that back side. Feels nice and tight there. Okay, so I've just got some Teflon tape. You just basically follow the threads the way that they would normally go. As you turn it, it doesn't back off the tape. Just a couple turns around there should do it. Okay. And then this one turns the normal way, which is why that turns the opposite way, so that you don't undo it as you go. Think of everything, hey? Do you think I could make one more turn here? Let's use these suckers. Cool. Alright, I have a feeling that is super ready to go. So now we need to set up the actual rainwater catchment part. These gutters come in 10-foot lengths. I need just 1 inch shy of 13 feet up here. So I've measured out the additional length of guttering that I'll need here, plus 4 inches, because I'm going to overlap this. Actually, I need more than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlap these by 2 inches on each one. So that basically, which would make that 4 inches. So I should be right. So I need 1 inch less than 13 inches. Sorry, 1 inch less than 13 feet. See if my line that I've marked is correct. So I'm happy that the length's right. So here we go, I've marked on here. Just using this square, just followed it round, marked on some lines. So I'm just going to use some snips to get that all tidied up. All right. I'm going to measure in. I'm going to overlap this, like I said, by 4 inches. So we're going to measure 2 inches out and 2 inches out on this one. And then we're going to grab the snips, and then I'm going to cut a diagonal from this inside corner, or the furthest outside corner, to this line here. The job definitely goes smoother if you have some longer clippers here, some longer snips. And then same here, so from the, just because of the way the snips are, I'm going to have to come in from this way. Okay. So now we have these two cut. These are opened up a little bit, because sometimes when you clip them, they close down, these little end pieces. So just open that ridge back up again. Okay, so the water is flowing this way, so I'm going to lap it over like this. But before I do that, I'm going to lay down three lines of caulking. Three beautifully tidy lines of caulk. And we're going to overlap this. So I'm going to squeeze this one nice and tight, and then do my best to wingle it. Let's get that leaf out of the way. Make sure there's none on the bottom of this. Okay. So I'm going to put that underneath there where those two lines meet up. Okay. And then we're going to snap it into place. Okay, so that hooks into that one. We're going to squash it down nice. Push it down nice and firm. But that's pretty good. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to hook this in underneath and then push that down on. And we use that to also attach the gutter to the fascia board. So if you want, you can use some rivets or, you know, these screws just to pinch it together front and back. I'm just going to let this do the job on the back, and then I might just pop a little rivet in there just to hold it nice and strong. I've got a little screw here, and I'm just going to push that in to hold it close. There we go. So all being well, there's my join. Also make these end plates, they just slot onto the end. They make a left and a right, obviously, and we're just going to push this onto the end here so that we don't get water. Just a little twist, that should hold it in place quite nicely. And if you wanted to do a little beater caulking on the inside, that wouldn't be a bad idea either. One for the other end. We're going to fire a bunch of these in every couple of feet. Okay, so this is the small area of roof that I'm going to be collecting water from, just from this side. I'm going to eventually link in the bigger roof and feed into this one, so there'll be even more if I need to, and I can switch the collection from the big roof to go straight to the drinking water tank, or switch it into this to top up the garden tank. So I'm going to add that at a later time, but just for now, let's get the guttering up onto this small roof just for this barrel here. So I'm just going to resort to the usual sort of downspout, main style downspout. I'm just going to line that up over that hole that I've made. Okay, so the battery died on the camera and we changed some things around while it was charging, but because it looks like it's going to rain, we just plowed ahead. Managed to get this up. It looks like it's at a really steep angle, but it's not. It's just slightly off straight. That just gives away the bad build of the building itself. So the building is nowhere near level, which makes it look like it's way off. But that is just on a slight angle, so you'll get some water flow to the end. And then I'm going to chop this downspout into a point so that we can collect water straight into that barrel there. So we're going to get this to the right length and bend it in at the bottom. Doesn't look too pretty right now, but it should work. And we can probably get some drainage sock that they do to really narrow it down, but we'll give that a go. We might have to shorten it down a little bit more. Oh, look at that. Okay, good. So that's on there first. I'll just tip that to the right angle. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to screw that in. It stays in that position. Okay, so I'm noticing now that the seam is on the front, it should be on the back. But this is just temporary. I wanted to get it up just to see if we can catch some rain, and then I'll come back and make this better. And I'll likely attach it to the barrel here somehow, so it's not as wobbly around in here in the rain and the wind. And then I'm going to put some kind of netting over the hole so it catches any gunk. But we'll fine tune that as time goes. I just wanted to get that up before the rain because it's always nice to catch extra rainwater. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this inspires you to go build your own rain catchment for your garden. You know, the more water we can save, the better. And yeah, save money on water bill and such like that if you do live in a standard dwelling with water and such. So thanks again. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the videos at the little globe here, and we'll see you in the next video.
It's windy.
It's windy. It rained overnight. Let's check out the barrel.
Cool. We got some.